Welcome to the Horse Talk Show
You never heard of a talking horse?
with your host, Louisa Barton.
I want to be a famous rider. I should like to race.
Presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital.
Truth is, I help horses with people problems.
Now here's the Brit on the bit, Louisa Barton. Yeah, baby.
The Larson family has been farming hay in Idaho for generations with a mission to always provide high-quality hay products at a fair and reasonable price. Larson Hay loves to meet new customers while always honoring the ones they already have. Find Larson Hay on the web at larsonhay.com, like them on Facebook, and definitely visit one of their locations. Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and our television broadcast sponsor. Can't text him, I'll text him in a minute. Welcome to the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our broadcast sponsor, Idaho's finest alfalfa. I'm Louisa Barton in the studio. My friends are back, the top endurance riders. I have Heather and Jeremy Reynolds here. Excited to have you guys back with us.
Thanks for having us.
Yes. I'm going to start off with some rather sad news so I can get to the good news. And that is, I did hear that the McCaffin brothers' dad, Luke McCaffin, sadly passed away. He had a wonderful life. He was definitely an icon in the horse world, and just want to say all our prayers and thoughts going out to the family and all connected there. So definitely an upsetting news to see on social media today. Let's get to some good news. We've got lots of great things coming up, of course. The Equine Industry Expo that's going to be here at the Downtown Market, right beside the Chamber and Economic Partnership building. We're very excited to have Miller & Sons Plumbing as the presenting sponsor. Again, this is part of the Equine Initiative presented by Piranha. If you need any plumbing work done, if you're getting a new home, or you have a problem in your house, Miller & Sons Plumbing are your go-to. They support everything in our equine industry that we need help supporting. This is going to be a great opportunity for people of all ages, but especially young people, to come and talk to famous people like them. And we're going to have farriers, dentists, we're going to have some demos. Sylvia Zabini, who is very, very well known with her beautiful Arabians, is going to come and do a at Liberty demonstration for us, which will be wonderful. You'll be able to ask Heather and Jeremy questions about being endurance riders and traveling all over the world and winning, because they win a lot. You'll be able to see a farrier actually doing a horseshoeing. Jack Montgomery will be here. And also we'll have Eddie Esparza here floating some teeth. And there'll be lots of opportunities to learn about jobs. And then Larson Farms is sponsoring the carriage rides for us. So we'll have free carriage rides, a nice big hitch with David Helmuth and his Clydesdales. There'll be vendors, food trucks, lots of opportunities to talk to people about neat inventions. And we're going to have some speakers talking about equine tech, like Brad Boland from Lip Chip. We'll also have OBS here talking about the OBS sales. We'll have an exercise rider, a trainer, a breeder. The breeder of the winner of the Kentucky Derby will be here to talk about breeding, and a number of other interesting things, as well as a Dale's pony, a Mangalaga Marchador, a thoroughbred, a Mustang, the miniature horses from Gentle Carousel, who wrote this book, will be here visiting as well. So we'll have lots of opportunities for you to meet all the different interesting breeds that we have in the Marion County area. We have a total of 62 known breeds in Marion County, so I don't know anywhere else you can find all of that. It should be pretty exciting and a great learning experience. Best of America by Horseback happened last weekend, and I just want to say it's my first time back trail riding since I broke my neck last year, and what a wonderful experience it was. We have some photos of the trail ride if you're watching on the telly or on social media. You can see those. That's myself on Rolo and Jackie Demerick, whose graduate won the Horse of the Year Eclipse Award, and that pony was that horse's pony horse. So, and that's Jackie and her dog, and we had a lovely ride. The weather was chamber weather, we ordered up specially, and just had a really, really nice time. Nice big group, went out, and that was all televised, of course, on RFD TV. That's Del Shields, the host of the show, and his wife Siobhan, who brought this great group of people all together to go off on the trails and just have this really nice experience and showcase some of the beautiful scenery on the Greenway that makes us the horse capital of the world. And we got to have a really, really nice ride, really enjoyed ourselves. Coming up, something very exciting, March the 5th, we're going to have steeplechase here. We've actually not had steeplechase here since 2009, and this is going to be an amazing experience at the Florida Horse Park. You can go online to Florida Steeplechase, and you can get all the information and get your VIP tickets. That should be pretty exciting.
Yeah, that looks really fun.
Really fun. You
That'll
guys,
be
if you're
great.
in town, you have to come.
We're going to be at our national convention for endurance that weekend.
Darn it.
But I'm sure it'll come again because
Oh,
it
it
looks
will.
like a blast.
It will, and I think it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger because Archie and Jessica, who are running it, Archie's been a steeplechase jockey, Irish guy, lovely guy. Jessica's been all over the horse world in Kentucky at all the big farms. They're go-getters, and they were on this show, and the next day they got a call from a really big name in the steeplechase world who said, "I heard you on a show last night, and we want to help you."
Nice.
And boy, it just went like this.
That's so exciting.
Yes, and so he's got a lot of support, and really, really exciting. I mentioned the demerits. Actually, we have 2 N's in training, so we need to get rid of one of those N's, but that's okay. We can do that.
That's the horse name.
Training. That was good. Well done. But congratulations to the demerits, who actually have 2 graduates from their farm here in Ocala that won Eclipse Awards, which is like the Grammys or the Emmys of horse racing.
Wow.
But Nick Sco, who actually trained right here in Ocala at their farm, is the Eclipse winning horse of the year with the best buyer score ever.
Wow.
And that horse you saw in the photos that Jackie was on with the dog was that horse's pony horse.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing.
So that horse we were trail riding with used to take that horse out to train.
I now have to excuse my ignorance. So what is a buyer score?
So there's a couple of different ways they rate horses' speeds. And the buyer is Andy Buyer, it's named after, who invented this way, and it is a rating on the fastest. So when you run a race, maybe you win the track record and maybe you win the race, but you don't run really, really fast.
Oh, I
so
see.
a buyer is a way that they register, like, how fast did you actually run?
All right.
Because if you ran in a race with 5 other horses and they were slow,
Right.
and you won,
It's like
you may have won, but you only beat
big
5
fish, little
slow
ponds.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Right. So when you have the best buyer score, that means you really ran.
You're legitimate. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Like,
Wow.
you ran. Yes, like fast.
That's really cool.
Unfortunately, we do have a health issue in the Rivera family, Jenna Rivera. A lot of you know her in this area, and there is a health issue, and there are some expenses associated with that in the family. So at the Florida Horse Park, who are always so supportive when there's a need, there's going to be a 5K run, and that superhero event is coming up May 8th of this year, and it's $25 to be a participant. Groups are welcome. Jeremy could probably outrun them all because he runs alongside his horse all the time. Give his horse a break when he's out in endurance. I think he's an endurance guy.
Yeah, but I'll just grab a hold if I'm not going fast enough. Let him pull me.
Just let him take you along for the ride.
Yeah.
So if you'd like to support, there's some information there on where you can actually send donations if you don't want to be brave and do the 5K run. But we certainly want to do all we can to help with that. So that's May 8th, and that is a 5K run. So we've got a great show lined up for you. I think we've mentioned everything coming up. Really excited about the steeplechase. Really excited about the expo. And actually Archie and Jessica from the steeplechase will be at this event as well. So you'll meet them.
Oh, nice.
You should do some steeplechase.
I was invited once when we were in France racing, and I wasn't brave enough.
Listen, it takes bravery.
Well, the steeplechase would have happened prior to our world championship, which is what he was there for.
That's right.
So if something would have gone poorly on the steeplechase,
Yes.
he would not have been able to do his own
That
event.
wouldn't have been good, would it? No.
If it was after, he might have been more brave.
But maybe it's something you can train for, and when they come back next year, maybe you could be in it to win it. And
Yeah,
you probably
maybe.
will win it because you win everything.
I have
so.
to get on a diet.
Well, you've already started a bit of jumping again, which we're going to share with you in a little while. But But we do have a good show coming up. I want to mention Larson Farms before we actually talk to Dr. Cayot about botulism in the next segment. I just want to speak for Larson. Hay, I have flown out there to their hay depot in their fields, and I have never seen the kind of meticulous care that Richard takes with every bale of hay. Obviously there's an investigation going on in the latest case of the botulism here in Ocala. We do not know yet where it came from, and that's all being tested and looked into, and we'll have the results of that soon. But I would just ask all of you to please hold off on social media until we know exactly what caused that problem. And I can certainly say quality is what Larson's is all about, so very important. Coming back after this break, Dr. Adam Cayot, stay with us.
This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now, or go to feeddac.com. DAC, it makes a world of difference.
With over 70 years of collective experience in the horse industry, Lip Chip was built with integrity by horsemen for horsemen. Introducing the Chip Link system, powered by Lip Chip, where a 15-digit unique ID becomes a key to unlock not only identity, but also health paperwork, owner information, and even photos of each horse. So simple, even a child can do it. The future is here. The future is Lip Chip.
Enhance your horse's performance, fitness, strength, and rehabilitation with state-of-the-art equipment. ETI treadmills offer the finest European engineering, the highest quality filtration, and no chemicals are required. Follow Equine Therapy International on social media or at equinetherapyint.com. Equine Therapy International provides technologically advanced therapy for horses worldwide.
Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the second segment of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Lisanne Farms, our broadcast sponsor. Idaho's finest alfalfa. In the studio with me, top endurance riders Heather and Jeremy Reynolds, and on the phone, Dr. Adam Cayot from Peterson Smith. Dr. Cayot, thank you for being back with us on the show.
Pleasure.
Unfortunately, this week we had some news of some cases of botulism. People unfortunately jumped, and it's a very sad situation regardless, and our prayers and thoughts go out to anybody connected. But as always, good old social media jumps in and immediately starts to throw the blame out there on Hay Company that we work very closely with, who are meticulous on the care of their and everything. I've been there and watched the process. So we certainly hope that's not it, but we will wait on the results to find out, where the botulism came from. But a lot of people were messaging me and saying, can you tell us more about this? We don't understand. So I thought, who better to explain what botulism is and the possible cause and then the symptoms and treatment than Dr. Cayot himself, the expert.
Yeah, far from the expert. Anyway. But anyway, yeah, so botulism, it's caused by, it's a toxin produced by Clostridium bacteria. Horses are particularly susceptible to it.
We love how the horses are susceptible to these things.
Everything.
Yeah, they're particularly susceptible to it. But the toxin itself, or botulism, can be found in the soil, can be found in feed material that they might consume. It's can be found in like silage and that sort of thing. Any place where you can have something that's decomposed. Certainly, horses most of the time when they come down with botulism, it most of the time is a result of something that they were fed, like a creepy crawly or a creature has gotten up into the bale of hay and has decomposed there, and that's generally the way they get it. So it's not a good thing. Generally, what you see start out with is kind of a lethargy. They're just kind of down and depressed, and then it can actually quickly progress to neurologic symptoms where they're unable to stand, and because the toxin actually affects the neuromuscular junction. That's why when you get your Botox, you get rid of those wrinkles because your muscles don't work no more.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot. It's the same thing, right?
That's creepy.
Just letting you know, ladies. So anyway, yeah.
So that's not how you get rid of all your laughter lines, Dr. Cayot?
Oh, no. Just they're there, believe me, they are there. So the best treatment for horses is the antitoxin, basically. Botulism antitoxin, and you try to get that in, and then it's supportive care after that. The good thing is there is a vaccine available for botulism toxin. It's about 95% effective, so that's pretty good. And the good thing about like all vaccines, even if the horse was to get botulism, generally the symptoms aren't as severe. So yeah, they're less likely to die from it.
How long is the coverage of that shot?
Yeah, how long? Heather asked a good question. How long does is that an annual vaccine?
That's an annual. Yeah, that's an annual vaccine.
Good,
yeah,
good. That's fantastic. Wow.
Yeah.
That makes me want to call you and come and tell you to do mine. But
it's not. It's funny because it's not one that we typically just do. It's not on the recommended. Depending on parts of the country, they're more likely or not more likely to have botulism toxin because of what they feed in that part of the country and that sort of thing. But Midwest, West, they do botulism more than we do on the East Coast. Yeah. And so it's kind of interesting. But yeah, there is a vaccine available. So,
good to know. So for example, I had to have a funeral at my house one day, and I cried because a squirrel fell in my water trough and sadly passed away, and I was terribly upset about it. It was awful. But I mean, could something like that cause it? Or if you had say feed from a feed mill that wasn't necessarily a reputable one, that, you know, had a dead animal went through the mill, that sort of thing could also be the case. Is that, or even if a horse found a dead animal in the field and by natural curiosity they stuck their faces in it? I mean, are those ways also?
Well, yeah, the animal would have to be decomposed. So you know, if the squirrel just fell in and drowned and wasn't really in a state of decomposition, then no. Generally, they have to be pretty stinky, for that to be the case. But certainly, if you found something, a dead animal in the field or whatever, and it's been there a long time, and the horse decides to go over there and sniff it or do whatever, there is a chance that it could happen from that. But most of the time, it's in an anaerobic environment, meaning without oxygen. So that's why you get worried about in the bale of hay, because it's compressed in there and there's no air and that sort of thing. So
makes sense, and that would be similar in a bag of feed as well, right?
Yep, and it's really common, well, relatively common in silage, these farms. And cows can deal with it pretty decently, but horses can get pretty doggone sick from it.
That makes sense. Yeah, absolutely. Now, do you see many cases of it or not too much?
No, thank God. No.
Yeah.
No.
How much time for exposure to sickness?
A good question.
It's pretty rare, honestly.
What is the time frame exposure to sickness usually?
Generally, it's anywhere, it's kind of hovers around that a week period, plus or minus a little bit, So fairly quickly. It fairly can be quickly, yes.
And if you get a wonderful veterinarian like Dr. Cayot out fairly quickly, what is the prognosis for most cases? Is it fairly?
Well, if you can get the antitoxin on board, it's guarded. If you cannot, it is poor prognosis for a horse.
So really important that if you begin to see those sort of symptoms, and is there are sometimes some paralysis and things as well, right?
Oh yeah, certainly. Yeah, there can be some leftover residual problems because once nerves are damaged, they don't tend to come back.
And is it easily diagnosed or so uncommon? It's
a good question. Is it easy to diagnose? Is there a test or?
There is a test, blood test typically, it's fairly easy to diagnose. But the thing about it is, it's going to kind of be down your list of differentials.
Right.
I mean, your more common neurologic things are going to be, encephalitides, West Nile, EPM. It's. Botulism is not very common. It does not occur very often. So that's going to be down your list. But
so it's not the top of your list, right? No, when you go to do an examination, you're not right away going, must be botulism, right?
No. That's going to be kind of and that's the tough part about it. It's going to be kind of down the list. So
an investigation obviously helps. I mean, if you have a compressed bale that you're feeding, you can always cut it open. Right.
You got more than one that gets sick. That's that's worrisome.
You got we have 1 minute left, and Jeremy's got a question.
It hasn't been diagnosed yet, but the symptoms are similar. But now, is it common that a whole herd in the same field would have it, or?
Well, if they're eating off they're eating off the same bale, multiple horses could be affected. Yes, absolutely.
Makes sense. If in fact that's the source of it, right?
Sure. I mean, we had a bad case. It was probably 10, 15 years ago on a farm down in Summerfield. They were feeding haylage. So that's basically chopped hay, and they lost a ton of them.
Terrible.
A bunch of horses.
Gigi's giving me the wrap up, Dr. Cayot.
Yeah, it was a bad deal.
Thank you for all the information. I think it's really important that people know what this is, and also know that there are other options of what it could have been caused by, and certainly we'll keep you informed on all that. Dr. Cayot, thank you so much for joining us.
You bet.
Have a great week. We'll see you on the 28th. Bye. We'll be back in just a minute on the Horse Talk Show. Stay with us. Thank you to our presenting sponsor, Peterson & Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care, and Larson Hay, our broadcast and television sponsor, Plus supporting sponsors DAC Vitamins and Minerals, Seminole Feed Stores, Piranha, TT Distributors, and the Hilton Garden Inn downtown Louisville.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at seminolefeed.com.
Horses. Piranha! Oh no! Oh, the humanity! Oh, piranha.
Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care seeks to be a leading international veterinary practice that provides state-of-the-art veterinary care to their patients while fostering professional relationships with their clients that stand the test of time. For 24/7 and the best in equine care, check out Peterson and Smith at petersonsmith.com or like them on Facebook now for more information.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Welcome back to the third segment of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our broadcast sponsor, Idaho's finest alfalfa. I'm Louisa Barton in the studio, friends of mine and special guests. We always have a really good time with top endurance riders, Heather and Jeremy Reynolds. And joining us now by video call, we have a girl who is definitely doing some endurance across the United States of America. And how much better than we have these guys here to ask her some questions. Lisanne Fear is with us. Welcome to the show. It's lovely to have you with us.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate being here right now.
Can we hear her?
I can't hear her. Can anyone else hear her?
Oh, no.
It might be me.
Can you hear
I
her?
can hear you
Just
good.
barely.
Just barely?
Sure, we did.
Yeah.
This is different from that.
Yeah, we can hardly hear you. I don't know if you can adjust your volume on that end. If your volume's all the way up, Lisanne.
Yeah, my volume should be all the way up. Let me double
So while
check
she's
that.
working on her volume, we'll talk about what these young ladies are doing, and actually brought to you by Summit Joint Performance, who I was just talking about Dorian before the show, and about how wonderful the Summit Joint Performance products are, and they're actually the ones who brought my attention to this incredible journey that these young ladies are on, going across the country to actually bring awareness to the Mustang dilemma, to their situation when they're rounded up, and kind of what happens to them through the adoption process or not if they're not adopted, and just to bring awareness to that situation. And I love that as an owner myself of a BLM Mustang. And I just love the fact that they're doing this, and what a journey. I mean, you've been 100 miles in a day, right? So you know about long journeys.
So many questions.
I know. I have so many questions too. So I hope we can. I know Gigi and Ian are working away now to see if we can get the volume corrected, because we'd certainly love to hear about this journey and ask them some questions about some of the challenges obviously they face as they take this journey. I know at the moment they are. When I spoke to Lisanne last week, back to her. We got her.
Well, she has to speak for me to hear.
Yes, speak. Lisanne, can you speak?
Oh, she's frozen.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to call her on my phone.
Perfect.
And I think that may be like the best.
Speaker.
Exactly, and we can still air her.
We have a picture of her. She's beautiful.
We do. She's beautiful.
Great.
And we can also put her photos and videos up if you're watching on television. So let's call her.
She's better on her cell phone.
Hey, Lisanne.
There we go.
How are you?
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Listen, it's better if we have you, we can talk to you, than only look at your pretty face, right?
Perfect. Okay, yeah, I agree with that. Thanks.
Good. So I don't know if you could hear us or not, but I have Heather and Jeremy Reynolds here, friends of mine in the studio. They are top endurance riders. They regularly win the Tevis. They're the winningest couple I've ever met in endurance, and they've traveled all over the world and won, and that seems like a perfect fit with what you're doing.
Yeah, that sounds absolutely fantastic. I'm excited to be on the air with them.
Yes, lovely. And Dorian from Summit Joint Performance is the one who actually told me about what you were doing. We love Dorian, and thank you to him and his support from Summit Joint Performance, which is an incredible product. Lisanne, tell us a little bit about how you kind of got started with all of this, and what inspired you to start this journey.
Yeah, so I've only been involved with the Mustang community since college, and these horses have just kind of skyrocketed my life. It's just absolutely incredible where all they have taken me in the world. And with that being said, I really wanted to give back to them, and I was fortunate enough to get to know Hannah through a fellow Mustang competition. And while I was interning under her a few years later, we kind of briefly talked a little bit about an idea where I was like, hey, I've come up to Montana and learned from you. You should come down to Wyoming and learn a thing or two from me about traveling in the mountains with horses. And she said, yeah. And then the internship ended and we went on our way. Well, a year later, we found this mule stang, a wild-born Molly mule.
Oh, cool.
And she just completely changed our world. I mean, we were like, oh man, now that we have this unicorn in the Mustang community, we need to show her off. And somehow it went from, just this tiny idea of hey, come down for a ride for a week, to now we're traveling 5,000 miles across the nation to inspire and educate on the adoption of 5,000 Mustangs from holding.
Wow.
That's awesome.
So how long ago did you fall in love with your first Mustang?
That'd be, I think 8 years ago this year.
Wow, that's amazing. That's
amazing.
amazing.
And it was a client horse at the time too, and I'm lucky enough now to have her in my own herd.
Wow.
Goodness.
Where did they begin?
Yeah, where did you begin this journey? What part of the country were you in?
So we kicked off on the beach of Cape Henlopen in Delaware.
Oh, nice.
Nice. And is that where you're from?
No, I am from Pinedale, Wyoming. It's about 80 miles southeast of Jackson Hole.
Oh, wow. I've been to Jackson Hole. Actually, I visited Jackson Hole actually when I went to see the Larson Farms depot and the hay, and they took us to all through there, through Montana, Wyoming. Oh my gosh, it was so beautiful. What beautiful country you live in.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. I'm excited to get back to it. Keeping the mountains in front of me is definitely keeping me motivated.
Oh, so where are you stopped now? I know you stopped for a little while, right?
Yeah, so we are currently stopped just south of West Union, West Virginia.
Wow. So are you resting there at the moment? Is that kind of the plan, and then you're going to go on?
Yep. We've been waiting a little bit for better weather, and then, as you guys know, we all get sick every once in a while. We have a horse that has a hoof abscess that's currently repairing itself, so we've been down waiting for that. So.
And then we have so many questions, but
yes, we do.
So that being what you have an abscess, I saw in your pictures you're using hoof boots. It looks like maybe Renegades, but what is your hoof protection at current?
Yeah, speaking to a guy who does a lot of hoof care himself.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Hannah and I are actually different. So Hannah is currently using Cavallo boots.
Okay.
I believe that they're specifically the Trek boots.
Okay.
And then I am shoeing my horses. I've shod my horses for the last 3 years myself.
Wow.
And they've got Boreum shoes on them. And so, yeah, I am a little bit lazier of a person, and I like to sleep that extra 30 to 45 minutes while Hannah's out there putting on her boots.
That's funny. Way to go. You probably need a lot of extra sleep. So talk to us. I've got a zillion questions as well, but kind of tell us about what your experience has been about the BLM and the Mustangs, and kind of what the plight and the situation is. I know that when I adopted my Mustang, they said he was on his third strike and that he wasn't going to get another opportunity to be adopted, and he was going to be taken out to some holding pen somewhere, and that was it. And he had a really cute moustache, and I wasn't there to adopt a horse, but you know, it happened, and I ended up going home with him. And he's an absolutely amazing. He's only 3, and he's just wonderful. I can't say enough about it. But I know that there's a lot that don't get adopted, and you know, they're known as America's horses, and they're so phenomenal. And actually, at that point right there, we only have 1 minute left of this segment. So if you don't mind holding on, Lisanne, we are going to take a break, and we're going to come back, because I know myself, Heather, and Jeremy, we all have lots of questions for you. So if you'll just hang on for us for a minute, we're just going to take a short break on the Horse Talk Show, and we'll be back.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Current equine microchips can migrate by up to 30%, causing difficulty when scanning. With over 70 years of collective horse industry experience, LipChip offers a new, more effective method of microchipping, partnering with veterinarians and technology experts to ensure humane and practical microchipping. LipChip was built by horsemen for horsemen. Nowadays, the performance horse industry is in need of both integrity and transparency. LipChip is the future of horse microchipping, with cutting-edge technology functional for every discipline. Find LipChip on social media, and for more information, lipchipllc.com. The future is here. The future is LipChip.
This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now, or go to feeddac.com. DAC, it makes a world of difference.
Equine Industry Expo, presented by Miller & Sons Plumbing, is at the Ocala Downtown Market, Wednesday, March 9th from noon to 7 p.m. Meet a variety of horse breeds and equine industry professionals for demos by farriers, equine dentists, vets, techs, and horse trainers. With food trucks, vendors, new equine-related products, free carriage rides with the beautiful Clydesdales, and more. Join us for Equine Edutainment at its best, Wednesday, March 9th at the Ocala Downtown Market. For more information, go to the events calendar at ocalacep.com, part of the Equine Initiative presented by Piranha.
World-class equine rehab promoting faster recovery is available at the Equine Performance Center Ocala. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy, an underwater treadmill, a saltwater spa, an aquapacer, MagnaWave, a vibration plate, swimming pool, massage and laser therapies. With post-surgical care, memberships, packages and BOGOs, EPC delivers a rejuvenated horse through proven and innovative rehab. Like Equine Performance Center now on Facebook, and find them on the web at epcrehab.com. Debbie and George and the staff at Gentle Carousel Miniature Therapy Horses, one of the largest equine therapy programs in the world, take teams of tiny horses to visit thousands of adults and children inside hospitals and in hospice care. They visit with families, first responders, and veterans who have experienced traumatic events. This multiple award-winning 501c3 is celebrating over 25 years of service, bringing hope and peace to the bedsides of many, some who are in the final moments of life. For more information or to donate, go to gentlecarouselminiaturetherapyhorses.com. Like them on social media, and help them make a difference that really counts. The Larson family has been farming hay in Idaho for generations, with a mission to always provide high-quality hay products at a fair and reasonable price. Larson Hay loves to meet new customers while always honoring the ones they already have. Find Larson Hay on the web at larsonhay.com, like them on Facebook, and definitely visit one of their locations. Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and our television broadcast sponsor.
Welcome back to the Horse Talk Show.
You never heard of a talking horse? Well, listen to this.
With your host, Louisa Barton.
What does it feel like to be in love with a horse?
Presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience.
Back in the saddle again.
Now, here's your pretty Louisa Barton.
You're fab. You're switched on. You're a bit of all right. Yes. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Back on the second half of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our broadcast sponsor, Idaho's finest alfalfa. I'm Louisa Barton in the studio. Friends and guest co-hosts, I think they should come every week, especially if it's a Tuesday. Heather and Jeremy Reynolds. That was a little joke from last week. It's okay.
We spaced
You have
out.
to be
We were
there,
sitting
yeah.
on our couch last Tuesday when we were supposed to be here, darn it.
And they missed Florence in the trap.
Oh,
house
I can't
and
even
the
believe
beautiful,
it.
amazing food they brought.
So disappointed.
I know, right? We actually have a young lady on the phone. We were actually trying to get a video call earlier with her, but we had some technical issues. Although we did test it beforehand, but there's, never any guarantees. But we're very glad to have her with us on the telephone, and we're sharing, if you're watching on television or social media, some of the videos and photos as we chat to her. I know people probably say this to her all the time. Her name is Lisanne Fear, and they probably should be no fear, right?
Yeah,
Don't
for
you
sure.
think? Because I think she has none. That's probably an old joke. But as she is crossing the country, I am trying everything I can to talk the Reynolds into finding a way for us to jump in with 3 horses and follow her. Because we think it's such a cool cause. Actually, the Reynolds have 2 Mustangs at their house, and I also have one at my house that we adopted. So, I think the cause is incredible. And before we talk more about your adventures and kind of some of the challenges I want to ask you that you obviously have to be facing, like weather, bad weather and things, tell us a little bit about what your opinion is of the BLM and the Roundup and what happens to the horses, and if you think there's a better process for the horses, and what you hope that the ride accomplishes.
Yeah, so our ride is primarily focused on just those horses that are currently standing and holding. So last numbers I was checking was about 53,000, but with current roundups, that number, this last fall, that number is probably closer to 60,000 horses standing and holding corrals. So everyone as a taxpaying American, these are your horses that you are paying for that are standing. So we're focused on bringing these horses into people's backyards, so that way they know what they're capable of and just how amazing they are. I'd rather see these horses being used for, whatever, whether it be, the endurance industry or dressage, even working cows, and definitely out on the trails. They're really versatile. It's kind of like picking a mutt up from the pound. You just never know what you're going to get fully. And I think that's the exciting part about owning a Mustang. So, I'd really like to see these horses utilized for what they are versus just standing stagnant.
Yes.
Where can people go to find them?
Yes. How do people find out about adopting them? Where can they go to adopt them? Where can they get more information if they would like one?
Yeah, so I think one of the best resources to start with is the Mustang Heritage Foundation.org. That place is fantastic. They have a lot of different programs, including the TIP program, which stands for Trainer Incentive Program. So there's a lot of people out there that can't, start a wild horse completely straight out into the wild. And so there's a huge network of trainers that help get horses gentled down, where you can lead them, pick up all 4 feet, load them in a trailer, and that kind of thing. So it's just like a great place to start. Another option is actually the wildhorsecorrals.org. That is a BLM website, and they have an online adoption on there where you can go and get a completely wild horse. Because I think that's one thing that we've seen out here on the East Coast is it's so much harder to find the wild horses, or like just availability wise, versus being out west where they're a little bit more prevalent.
Yeah, for sure. My experience, like I said, I wasn't planning to go and adopt one. I was just going to go and meet the lady that I'd interviewed on the show about the horses that were there, take some pictures and kind of help promote, the adoption here in Ocala, and ended up with one who I got home, put in my round pen as instructed, and that night he colicked. So by the next morning, he was asleep on my foot, and we were sound friends. And he was absolutely wild when he arrived at my never been haltered, nothing, just been chased with the flags, you know, into everything. And so, yeah, by the morning we were buds. And actually I broke my neck a year ago, almost exactly a year ago. And the first time, other than sitting on Jackie's pony horse once before that, the first time I sat on a horse again was on my Mustang New Year's Day on the beach. And he was such a good boy. And I didn't go do much. I just walked a little bit. But he was so amazing. He is so amazing. And he's so smart. I mean, they're such good horses. And they really are solid. They've got most of them. Yeah, they're tough. Most of them have really solid feet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, super.
And great bone.
Great bone. Yes, they're great horses. And they're wonderful companions. I mean, mine mostly for a year has been an ornament, you know, but he's loved it. You know, he loves his life. He knows he gets fed twice a day and scratched and treats, and, you know, he's spoiled rotten.
And Darwinism has really made them the toughest, strongest, healthiest you can
they
find.
really have to be able to survive, don't they? I mean, really. So you do get a good hardy horse, and I can highly recommend not just their strength, but their they're smart.
Their character.
Their character. They're amazing. So tell us about some of the challenges other than weather. You obviously have faced some other. You must have. You couldn't do this and not, right?
Yeah, like
right. I mean, I think that's all part of the grand adventure of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, weather is definitely something. When we're actually out on the trail, we sleep in tents probably 75% of the time.
Oh.
Another challenge, like logistically, originally, like we were a little bit nervous about door knocking because, I mean, it's not like we can plan out exactly where we're going to be and when. We kind of have to go with the flow a little bit more. And so door knocking has been absolutely wonderful. I mean, it's just really crazy to see how kind people are. I think that the news distorts a lot of it, and we couldn't do this without absolutely amazing people along the trail. And so a lot of what we thought were going to be challenges really, really haven't been, because anytime we've been a little bit down on our luck, someone steps in to help us out just when we need it. It's been absolutely amazing in that regard.
That's amazing. Incredible. So Heather just asked about that, like feed and hay. Like, are you taking all that along with you, or do you have to stop and get that on the way? And
how do you plan that out?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're super fortunate to be sponsored by BLK Water, also known as Blackwater, and they have provided us with a support truck and trailer along the way. So where we can, we stock up on as much hay as we can. We're gratefully and thankfully sponsored by Crypto Arrow and Omega Field. So on that trailer, we carry about 2,000 pounds of grain most of the time. So that way the horses always have a lot of grain. But again, it's just back to that trailer. Like, we carry it when we have it, and then we stock up when we can get it, and then we're self-sufficient the rest of the time. We have a water tank on the truck as well, so that way we always have water for our horses.
Nice.
We're really grateful. I mean, it's kind of like riding in luxury in a lot of ways, thanks to the truck and trailer.
Yeah.
You got your own swag vehicle.
Yeah.
That's right. That's very cool.
The rolling buffet for the horses.
Yeah.
So how does Summit play into this? They're obviously very supportive of you. Dorian shared the story with me a few weeks ago, and I was thrilled to hear it, and I love to hear it. It's fantastic what you're doing. But how does that kind of play in?
Yeah, I'm bummed that the video's not working, because I actually did choose to wear the Summit shirt today.
I did see that.
We did see
I saw that.
I was supposed to be representing, but yeah, so the product is absolutely amazing. We're on the CS or the C4S product. Hannah and I both are. And then our horses are on Summit Joint Performance, and it just keeps them going. I mean, my horse was already kind of Forrest Gump, the one that I lead the way with, but now with Summit, the others are able to keep up with him throughout the day a little bit better. And then our dogs, so we actually have a pack of dogs kind of traveling with us.
That's amazing. Lisanne, hold that thought. We're going to ask you to stay with us unplanned, but for one more segment, if you don't mind, because I know we have more, and we ran out of time again. So if you don't mind staying with us, we'll be right back on the Horse Talk Show.
I'd love to.
Thank you to our presenting sponsors of this half of the show, Palm Chevrolet and Larson Hay. Also, thank you to our supporting sponsors, Equine Therapy International, Nirvana Medical Spa, Equine Performance and Innovative Center, and Summit Joint Performance.
This hour of the Horse Talk Show is presented by Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, where the entire team is committed to making your experience in sales and service hassle-free and easier than ever with no games or gimmicks. Come in and visit on Southwest College Road or online at palmchevrolet.com. A second-to-none experience with all the amenities. Palm Chevy, find new roads.
Nirvana, Ocala's premier medical spa, is leading the way in great skin with all the newest in treatment options, offering prejuvenation for younger clients and rejuvenation for all ages. Nirvana knows you want to look your very best, but we've all seen people with the telltale signs of too much work. We want you to look like you, just better, brighter and younger, with all the newest and best in technology and all in the most beautiful surroundings. Like Nirvana Medical Spa on Facebook and find them on the web at nirvanamedicalspa.com. Become a better, brighter and younger you. Piranha, your trusted leader in insect control for 50 years. The official fly spray for World Equestrian Centre. From the strongest water-based equine spray in the blue bottle to the familiar and long-time favourite in the yellow bottle. Wipe and spray, we've got you covered. If you're looking for effective plant-based fly spray, then look for our Zero Bite in the green bottle. Check us out online at piranhainc.com. That's Pyranha, piranhainc.com, to learn more about Piranha's entire family of products. Piranha, it works.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the fifth segment, I think, of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our broadcast sponsor, Idaho's finest alfalfa. We are actually, in the next segment, going to talk to Jeremy about something he's doing now that he did when he was a kid, and he's back doing it, and we'll get to that. But we actually kept Lisanne on longer than we intended because we just had so many cool things to ask her about this journey. So at the end of the last segment, we were just talking about Summit Joint Performance, and on the break, I was just sharing how my experience with my 35-year-old who passed away last year is, I think it probably gave him several years of riding that he wouldn't have had. Definitely gave my older dog a lot of extra movement in the last part of her life. And then my other really, really old Morgan, who couldn't get up at all, I gave him Summit every day on Dorian's instructions for several weeks, and he never ever had the issue of not being able to get up again, ever. And he would literally spin on his haunches 6 times to get enough oomph to get up. It was horrible. I would have to help him and pull him, and but the Summit Joint Performance literally fixed it. So it's really an amazing product, and if you could see Lisanne right now, she would be wearing her Summit shirt. But we could see her. We just couldn't hear her. It was a nice shirt. It was a nice shirt. But I'm going to get some for you guys to try, because I think for what you do with what you do with the amount of distance that you guys cover, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, it'd be great.
So Heather
I told Dorian that I can't predict the weather anymore. I mean, I've broken my body quite a bit, but that stuff.
That's awesome.
I can't feel it in my bones anymore.
I know, right? I know. There you go. Summit Joint Performance. It ruins your weather predictor. But that's a good thing. Heather had a really good question. I'm going to let her go ahead and ask.
I was just curious, when you're actually doing the ride, when you're not sidelined with the weather, how long, hour-wise, or how many miles do you think you guys are covering in a day with these horses?
Yeah, so the maximum amount of miles that we've covered in one day has been 28 so far, and then the smallest day was 6 miles, and it took us 4.5 hours to do those 6 miles. So it's some of the most rugged trail I've ever seen.
Wow. And are you... Average, go ahead, sorry.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say on average we're usually going around 20 miles a day, but as the days got shorter in December, we were only averaging about 15 just due to lack of daylight.
Wow, and is it mostly trail, or are you having to go through a lot of cities, or what's the riding like?
Yes, I would say about probably 85% of it is roadways.
Wow.
We rode our Mustangs, our previously wild Mustangs, right through downtown DC onto the National Mall.
Wow, that's
so
amazing.
cool.
That is amazing.
That is, I wish I would love to. Gosh, wouldn't that have been incredible?
Wow.
Yeah.
Gosh, what an amazing experience. And what is the reception like from the people when you go through the towns and cities and things? What is the reception like? Do people kind of have an awareness already that you're coming and they know what it's all about? And do people look at you crazy like they do me on the beach when I ride?
Yeah, I mean, we have literally thousands of vehicles pass us when we're on the road. And, you know, there's some that, like, we kind of get traffic backed up and, like, you can tell they're getting a little angry back there. But then as soon as, like, they pull around and they see, like, why they were going 4 miles per hour, they're so excited. Like, we have so many people that are just so excited to see horses, especially when we're in those more urbanized areas. They just think we're all crazy when we're, like, coming up to stoplights with people and different things and waiting for the green light to go. We bring a lot of smiles to people's faces, which I think is amazing.
I do too. Gigi has a question. Offset.
Since you're going through cities and whatnot, now you described there were people who were happy to see you, but were you seeing any people who are not
happy to see you?
Going 4 miles an hour?
You know, we've traveled quite a few miles, and really we've only had 2 people that were really upset. And I mean, 2 people out of thousands.
That's great. That's great numbers. I'll take it.
Yeah, we'd like to get through a day without that, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you left on this journey last September, and you're going to be done with this journey in November. Do you know how many total miles you will have covered? Is that the 5,000? The miles that you're going to cover, and was there a reason with the start date and end date? Are there occasions at beginning and end, or just you said no, that's how long it's going to take us?
I mean, it is a lot about how long it was going to take us, but also part of it was going this direction, because a lot of people have asked why we're riding into the wind for 5,000 miles headed west, but you know, we really do want to do it in essentially a year. 13 months is a little bit longer than a year, but this gives us a chance to kind of get through like the east and Midwest and hit the Rockies just in time for the snow to melt out of the Rockies, and then be able to cross the Sierras in Nevada and California before the snow comes back in.
Nice. And when do you think you'll be in Nevada and California? Because we're going out there this summer, and maybe we can meet you at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's going to be like that September, October time of year.
All right, that might work out.
Right, so I'm going to get a plane ticket.
Yeah.
I'm going to meet the Reynolds. Gigi and I are going to get a plane ticket.
September-ish. We'll try to do September.
And we're going to try and meet up with you, and then I'm going to get on one of their horses, and we're going to follow along with you for a bit. Because I think...
I have the perfect horse for you. I call him the family minivan. Anyone can ride him.
Perfect. That's perfect.
The family minivan.
Perfect.
Listen, I just rode the couch with Best of America by horseback. His name was Rolo, and I felt like I was riding a couch. He was that comfortable and that smooth and felt that safe. And for somebody who, you know, had a metal plate put in their neck last year, I'm going for kind of safe right now. You know,
minivan sounding good.
Minivan, yeah. I never wanted a minivan, but I like the sound of it now. So I'm not your minivan kind of girl normally, but you know, the Mini Cooper's probably not for me right now, and neither is like the Wild Mustang probably. So yeah, the minivan's good. But that's exciting. Oh my gosh,
Very
if we got to
exciting.
go meet them.
That'd be very fun.
Oh, wouldn't it? It's such a wonderful thing to bring awareness to. And you know, I didn't know until I interviewed the lady from the BLM, and until I went to the Southeastern Livestock Pavilion and looked at those horses. I mean, I knew there was a thing, you know, about Mustangs, but I knew almost nothing about it. I have to be honest with you. I knew very, very, very little. Coming from England, you know, it just wasn't something I had a whole lot of awareness of. But that was a real wake-up call when they said to me, you know, he's $25 because he's on his third strike. I said, what do you mean his third strike? And they were, well, he's going to go to a holding pen somewhere because no one's adopted him 3 times. And I'm like, oh, no. I have to take him. Mm-hmm. You know, I have to figure it out. So I did, but I really didn't know. So I think what you're doing bringing awareness to this situation may wake up a lot of people who maybe they already have horses and they have room for one more. So why not get a Mustang?
Where's our finish line?
What's the finish line, did you say? Where are you going to end up?
Yeah, so the trail takes us into San Francisco, but we're adapting that so that way we can land on a beach without a whole lot of restrictions. So we'll go up north a little bit into Napa Valley is kind of where we're
Well, we used to train on the Ocean Beach in San Francisco.
It's across from Golden Gate Park, and it's horse friendly.
And you can go right through the middle of the city through the park to
through
get
Golden
to the
Gate
beach.
Park to get to that beach.
It's not logistically
if
that
you
bad.
Look at that one.
Yeah.
That one wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that previously, but we had to jump through a lot of hoops in Delaware to be able to film with horses on the beach.
Okay.
And so, to film on the beach there was another hoop jumping red tape
Another
process.
hoop jumping. Wow. Lisanne, I can't believe it, but we're actually at the end of our third segment with you. I want to thank Dorian at Summit Joint Performance for bringing us this great story. And I am going to find you with the Reynolds this summer, and we are going to ride with you and cheer you on because we're certainly 100% behind you. And I hope you'll stay in touch with us, and we'll keep sharing your progress as you make your way on this wonderful journey to bring awareness to the fantastic horses, America's horses, the Mustangs. We certainly love them. Thank you, Lisanne Fear, for being with us.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Wow, that was awesome. I
was.
love her already. We got to go to break. We're going to come back and talk about Heather and Jeremy and a little jumping. Stay with us on the Horse Talk Show. Thank you to our presenting sponsor, Palm Chevrolet, and our broadcast and television sponsor, Larson Hay. And also to our supporting sponsors, Equisafe, Nirvana Medical Spa, Showcase Properties of Central Florida, the Equine Performance and Innovative Center, and Summit Joint Performance.
Hi, I'm Alan Davies with Equine Therapy International. Today we're at Engineered Equine Performance celebrating the new saltwater chilled treadmill. This particular chilled equine saltwater treadmill is a game changer. As you can see, the finest materials are used. The filtration system, coarse, fine filtration, no chemicals. We use UV, ozone, combination of filtration to keep the highest water chemistry standards. Being a saltwater unit, only the finest stainless steel and materials are used. That's important when it comes to longevity and cost of service over the life of the unit. This unit also has integrated massage jets with fine bubbles and coarse air bubbles for the therapy. The control system on this is Siemens industrial grade, top of the line technology, straight from Germany, but also serviceable here in the US.
World-class equine rehab promoting faster recovery is available at the Equine Performance Center Ocala. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy, an underwater treadmill, a saltwater spa, an aquapacer, MagnaWave, a vibration plate, swimming pool, massage and laser therapies. With post-surgical care, memberships, packages and BOGOs, EPC delivers a rejuvenated horse through proven and innovative rehab. Like Equine Performance Center now on Facebook and find them on the web at epcrehab.com.
This show was brought to you in part by TT Distributors, dedicated to bringing their customers the largest selection of quality horse supplements, products, and farrier supplies in Florida at affordable prices. Also online at ttdistributors.com.
This show is brought to you in part by Summit Joint Performance, promoting a healthy, thick synovial fluid, decreasing inflammation in the joints and improving the cushioning properties of the cartilage pads. All age horses can benefit from Summit Joint Performance.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the final segment of the Horse Talk Show this week, presented by Palm Chevrolet and Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. I cannot believe how fast those last three segments went. We were going to have Lisanne for one, but she was so interesting, we had to do another one, and then we had so many more questions.
For sure.
We had to do a third one. So, wow, that was amazing, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. I mean, gosh, what a What a thing.
I mean, a big journey has a lot of questions.
Yes.
There's a lot of details.
And like Gigi said, they're young people. How brave.
That's really
fun. Like after you've been beaten up in this life a bit, you kind of think, well, I'm brave now. But they're young people going out.
They haven't been beaten up yet.
I know.
It's the time to do it.
I know, but gosh, that's tough.
We couldn't even stop talking to her in the break. We just keep
I know.
asking more and more questions.
Asking her all these questions, like, how are you doing
fun.
this? And you think about someone, I don't know how old she is, but she looks young. I think, gosh, that takes a lot to...
Oh, yeah, to just go with it.
Yeah, to go out there and get sponsors and,
And you have to be willing to just be willing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're going to go out there and something's going to happen today.
Yeah, it makes me feel like I do before the Kentucky Derby. Like, we don't know what's going to happen, Gigi, but, be brave.
But that's just 2 minutes. This one's going 5,000 miles.
Crazy. Wow. Impressive, though.
Very.
So, Jeremy.
Yes.
Top endurance rider in the world.
She always gets us with that.
I know. I do.
I am ranked number 1, but
He is ranked
He is
number
actually.
one.
Yeah, so this today.
It's not just by me. It's actually
Thank you.
ranked. He is ranked. He is actually ranked number 1. Mm-hmm. But Jeremy, when you were a younger man, you did some jumping.
I did, and a little bit of fox hunting.
A little bit. I loved fox hunting, but that was mostly just for the mad, crazy gallop. But but you've kind of got back in a little.
Yeah, I've got this really nice Appaloosa, half thoroughbred, quarter Appaloosa, quarter Arab that I've been doing endurance with. And he's a blast, but he was bred to jump, and
He's about 17 hands.
yeah.
Big guy for an endurance horse.
And Heather's been encouraging me for our whole relationship to, why don't you just jump? Why don't you just jump? And then finally,
He talks about it. It's like, no, we don't have time. We don't have
I
time.
just don't have time. And then she bought me some jumping lessons, so I decided I'll
To
hack
force
them
him,
around.
right? Once it's paid for and committed, you're
Yeah.
going.
You gotta do it.
So I hacked him around a couple of times, and he wasn't scared of anything. And then the first lesson, and he took to it pretty well.
That's the first time in the arena for this horse.
And this
serious?
You've never been in an arena?
Never been in an arena.
No. And last June, this horse wasn't really halter broke.
Yeah.
No joke. So he's amazing. He's turning 7.
Do the Appaloosa Association know about you two?
I think so.
I think they should. Wow.
But he's going to
How
do
old
it.
is he? What's his
He's
name?
turning 7. His name is Abstract.
Yeah. So he's going to do a race this weekend, his last prep ride for his first 100 in a couple weeks. And
He's doing a 50-miler on Friday of this week.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
7-year-old Appy wasn't even halter broke a year ago, and look, hasn't been in an arena before, and off you go.
Right, yeah.
And where is this?
This is
in Ocala. Actually, in
at
Archer.
Joe Englert's.
Yeah.
Joe Englert. I don't know the name of the farm, but Joe Englert is an amazing German trainer.
Yeah.
Super nice guy. And
Who
Jeremy
was that
hit it
cute
off.
horse? Put that photo back up again. Who was that?
So that's a client horse. That's an Anglo-Arabian mare named Tamale from California.
beautiful. Yeah.
And her owners donate. They're the major feed donors for the Tevis.
Yeah.
So they do all the it's
Echo
Valley
Farms.
Yeah, for their feed.
And that's her?
Yeah, and that's the Mustang that won the Hagen Cup at the Tevis.
Oh my gosh, that reminds
His
me
name
of
is
Flynn.
Cody.
Couple years ago,
Yeah, Cody, and this is on Sunday. I tried to take a picture of all the client horse for it, and this is the other Mustang who belongs to the same family as Cody. His name is Ivan.
Yeah,
I like that too.
He's super
So
cute.
when you're out doing endurance, you forgive me because I'm not much of an endurance expert and I've never done it, although I've always wanted to, and I always said my Tennessee Walker would have been amazing. But when you're out doing endurance, is it quite often that you have to get over obstacles, or rarely?
No, rarely, because
You're out in the open,
yeah,
more,
but
right?
but also the trails just get cleared prior to. Because typically Arabs don't like to leave the ground too much.
Yeah, a lot of times we reroute through the bushes.
Yeah, a lot of time if there's a hazard, like a big tree down, we will go around it.
Yeah. Well, a lot of time a big tree is naturally, and then there's all the branches and brush, and
Yeah.
so you're not going to jump over this big thing.
No,
Yeah.
because you don't know what you're jumping
Yeah.
into or over.
Mm-hmm.
But I know you know fox hunting. Well, I don't know where you did your fox hunting, but where I did, whatever got in front of you, you just had to find a way.
Yeah.
And if you were on a little pony and it was too big, then, you know.
Or you hang your coat for the rest of the. If you're the
Yes.
youngest one, you're hanging your coat so everyone else can jump over it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That does happen.
Yeah.
Quite a lot. But endurance, I'm sure you're right. You're in pre-planned races.
So a funny story. So we were at a race at the Biltmore Estate, and a tree had fallen. I think it was Biltmore.
Yeah.
A tree had fallen, and there was no way easily around it. You had to go you had to really circumvent this tree. Well, he was on a really short horse, and he was going for it. And he said, come on. And the horse name was Sturgis, like the motorcycle rally. And he said, come on, Sturgis. And Sturgis looked at this tree and ducked, with the saddle ducked beneath.
I had gotten off.
Yeah, he had gotten off, and the horse ducked under this thing and continued, and he had such a head start on everyone else because of that. We all had to like figure out how to get around this thing. No one was short enough to get under that thing. And Sturgis would squat down.
Yeah, it was
It was awesome. Yeah, and it was just a natural hazard. Like, that wasn't planned. The tree fell in the night. You know, the ride managers, it wasn't falling when they flagged the trail. So,
right. So they didn't know. So but you found a way under it.
Yeah,
That's
or
brilliant.
he did. I figured he would go.
Yeah.
Because he would always go under his stall gate. So
yeah, the stall guard, he just ducks under.
See, there's benefits to that stall guard ducking.
The limbo.
Yes. For real. So how's it feel to be back jumping? Did you?
It was a blast. I don't know how much I'm going to actually be able to do, but we'll see.
He was ear to ear, like.
Yeah, it was fun.
Like Big Cheese.
Like he's doing Botox for
it was
laughter lines.
It was a lot of fun watching him. So much happiness.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really wonderful. It's like but when you do one discipline and you compete at the level you compete at, it is really hard to spend time and focus on another discipline.
Yeah.
It's wonderful to cross over, and it's wonderful, I find, introducing people from different disciplines to one another where they can share their sports and all that, but it is hard when you're focused on...
Because to do well, it's time-consuming in any discipline.
Yeah. But I feel like the horse industry, like everyone's so supportive and the trainers, like, I know nothing about your sport, and he was asking me questions in between giving my horse a break, and he would just ask me questions, but he was so inspiring and just so helpful, and he's like, man, this is, he's like, I've never seen an endurance horse, and now you're jumping with me, and this is so exciting, and he couldn't get over that a horse that never seen jumps and just go at it just like it wasn't even there. He was super excited. So
well, now he's worked with 2 Appaloosa endurance horses because Cloudy has jumped.
That's true. That's true.
So
Yeah.
Our friends
That's
also.
really cool. But that also is, I think, a testament to you guys, because horses that have a really, really good foundation and trust their owners tend to be willing to try new things. So I think, to me, it shows, how well-rounded they are, and that they're willing to go out there and do whatever you want and say, you know what? Dad wants to do it, or Mom wants to do it, let's go,
Yeah, and the fun part about the lesson was watching his horse. As the lesson progressed, the horse was getting more and more supple and more game. Like, oh, this is really fun, and trying to get it right, and that was neat to watch.
And was enjoying it.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is a new challenge, let's do it. And who did you say he went for his lessons with?
Joe Englert.
Wonderful. So he was interested in learning about what you do in endurance, because next thing you'll do, have to give him an endurance lesson.
Or I guess they're in Riddick, not Ocala. Riddick.
Right, Riddick. Yeah.
And get him out on an endurance ride.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it? That whole thing.
He's a hell of a rider. You could put him on any horse. And
Yeah, for sure.
So, and then we've got to get me out there on Treasure, because I really want to go and give it I want to give it a try. My daughter rode with you guys for a while, several years back, and I used to be quite envious and think, I want to make time to do that, So now I need to make time to go and go on a ride with you and get like your experience.
That would be really fun.
I would love to. It's something I've always wanted to do. I cannot believe it, but Gigi said there's only a minute left, which means now there's 45 seconds. I love these guys. I wish they'd come in every Tuesday.
Tuesday.
And,
it's a T word.
No, it's a T word. It begins with T. And join us for the show, because it's certainly wonderful to have them. And Lisanne Fear, thanks for sharing your adventure with us. We're so proud of you, and we wish you well as you travel on, and we hope to join you. Whether you're in Ocala, Marion County, the horse capital of the world, or not, happy horsing around. Till the same time next week.